hope you're all doing well and taking care, and welcome to this brand new Doctor Who video on the channel. So for today's video, of course, I'm going to be giving my full thoughts, my full review on episode 1 of the 60th anniversary specials, The Star Beast. And after sleeping on it overnight, I have to say I am still a huge fan of this first special. Now, is this episode the best episode in the world that's ever existed for Doctor Who? Of course not, but that's not what I was expecting this story to be. We've got to remember, this is just the first episode out of 3 specials. It isn't like the 50th anniversary where I've seen some comparisons. That's not really fair because the 50th anniversary special was just one special with Day of the Doctor, but this is 3 specials over 3 weeks and we've still got 2 episodes to go. But for a start to these specials, this was an excellent episode in my opinion. So let's start first with the main event of the special, which of course was the return of David Tennant and Catherine Tate to Doctor Who after 15 years away. And I have to say, I absolutely adored them, seeing them back in the universe of Doctor Who. Starting with David Tennant first, it was great to see him back into the role of the Doctor. He really jumped back in, as expected, with ease. And the great thing is, this genuinely to me didn't just feel like the 10th Doctor again. Obviously, it was very similar because this is still David Tennant in the role of the Doctor. But at the same time, it did feel slightly different. And I think the best way to explain it is the 14th Doctor felt more like an open version of the 10th Doctor. It felt like this incarnation was more open and honest about their feelings. And that made sense because this is an incarnation 3 Doctors down the line. The Doctor has been Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi and Jodie Whittaker recently. And yeah, the Doctor has changed and developed since being David Tennant the first time round. So yeah, I like the approach they've taken. It still feels very similar to David Tennant's iconic incarnation of the Doctor. It hasn't changed that much, but it still feels like there's a new kind of dynamic to the character. It definitely feels like this incarnation is a more open and honest version of the 10th Doctor, which I like. And I also liked all the references we got to Matt Smith, Peter Capaldi and Jodie Whittaker as well. To make it clear, this is not the 10th Doctor, this is the 14th Doctor, it's just a face from the Doctor's past. Moving on now to Donna Noble, and I would say I actually, like, for me, she was easily the highlight of this story. I absolutely loved seeing Donna Noble back in the role. Catherine Tate was just back at it like that. She also jumped into this role with ease. I just laughed so much at so many of Donna's lines. She is just such a funny character to watch, and yeah, it's great to see them both back in the show. Like I said, they both jumped back into their roles like they've never been away really, and yeah, I can't wait to see more of them throughout these episodes. One issue that did need fixed for this episode was Donna's mind, because obviously back in the series 4 finale it was revealed that because of the Maya crisis, Donna can never remember the Doctor ever again, or her mind will literally fry and burn, and we needed a resolution to that in this episode. And I do like how this episode slowly builded up towards the moment, and then at the end we got the resolution that basically, because Donna has had a child now with Rose, it meant that the meta crisis has actually split between them both. So in the end, it didn't actually kill Donna because you had Rose there, which meant that the power could be shared between them both. And personally, I am really happy with this resolution. I think it makes a lot of sense. My only concern is regarding the future when rewatching Series 4, because now that big moment in the Series 4 finale, that might no longer feel the same, because we know now deep down that isn't how Donna will end. She will be able to remember the Doctor once again later on down the line, and there won't be any consequences from that. But I find that will ultimately depend on what happens in these 60th anniversary specials. We'll just have to wait until the end and see what goes down. But as it stands right now, I really like this solution. It makes a lot of sense to me, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. I was actually wondering towards the end of the special if it meant that Donna and Rose were now going to keep their powers. But no, they both decided to give their powers up and return to normal, which I like. I already love Donna, how she was. I don't think we need her to be the Dr. Donna or anything like that. That would probably make her too powerful, to be honest. So I'm glad that they both decided to give up their powers because, yeah, it's not really necessary going forward, in my opinion. In terms of Rose, they were a really likeable character, in my opinion. They felt genuine, they felt down to earth. I have seen some people say, oh, this is woke and all that kind of nonsense. In my opinion, that's rubbish, because all that Russell is trying to do here is show us a genuine trans non-binary person. Because the truth is, whether people like it or not, trans people exist. They've always existed. They just feel more comfortable now to be themselves, which is obviously a very good thing. And yeah, in my opinion, Rose felt like a genuine trans person. It showed us some of their struggles and stuff like that. I like the scene especially between Donna and her mum, because that showed that it's okay to be a bit confused. You don't need to know everything that's going on. It's okay to ask for advice. I do like scenes like that. But as a whole, Rose was a very down-to-earth character. I just hope we get to see more of them in the future, because yeah, I felt like we could have spent more time with them. It makes sense because the story had a lot going on with David Tennant and Catherine Tate already, but hopefully we get to see much more of Yasmin Finney in the future. They have said that they are going to share scenes somehow with Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor, so maybe that will mean that the 15th Doctor and Rose will have a sort of side quest or something in the next two specials. Maybe Rose will become his temporary companion for two specials. That would be pretty cool. But as a whole, I liked Rose, and I hope we get to see much more of them in the future. We got an actual in-universe explanation behind Rose as well, because they said that because of the meta-crisis situation in her head, and because of that connection to the Doctor, that's why Rose feels non-binary, because the Doctor doesn't have a set gender themselves. I have a kind of mixed reaction to that. Part of me is like, yeah, that makes sense. I get it. But then the other part of me is like, you don't need an explanation for absolutely everything. It's okay to just be like, Rose is non-binary trans because that's just how they are. You don't need an absolute explanation behind it. I get why Russell's probably doing it because it does in universe make sense. It's just, I don't think you need everything all of the time to be explained. But I do get where he was coming from with that. On the monster front, we had both Beat the Meep and the Wrath Warriors in this story, and I have to say, Beat the Meep was an absolute joy from start to finish. We had this adorable, cute, little innocent monster at the start, and then by the end we had this very evil monster that took over the story. And yeah, I thought Beat the Meep was absolutely fantastic. I thought the way that Beat the Meep looked was absolutely incredible. It looked like something you would get in a Disney project, not the BBC. They did a great job with that. I thought that Myram, the voice actress, also did a fabulous job voicing this character. So yeah, Beat the Meep, as expected, was an absolute joy. The Wrath Warriors as well, they looked really cool. They brought some needed action-packed scenes to the story. I maybe would have liked to see just a little bit more of the Wrath Warriors, but at the end of the day, they did the job. They brought some really needed action-packed scenes to the story between Unit and the Wrath Warriors, which were really cool to look at. And yeah, I'm pretty happy with both monster fronts on this story. Interestingly, towards the end, Beat the Meep mentioned having a boss, and I immediately thought that must be a reference to the toy maker. They must be the one behind all of this, leading to the reveal in the finale. But no, David Tennant has said that that is not the case, and that whoever the boss Beat the Meep was talking about is not going to be revealed until Ncuti Gatwa's first season. So yeah, I found that very interesting. I'm very curious who that could potentially be. Maybe it'll be Jinx Monsoon's character, maybe. We'll have to wait and see what goes down. But yeah, very interesting there. It was good too to see Unit in this story, and I especially liked the latest member, Shirley Ann Bigham, played by Ruth Melody. She had quite a few good scenes with the Doctor in this episode, a bit of a heart-to-heart between them both, and yeah, she's a really nice character, and I'm hoping we get to see much more of her in the future. We know from the trailers that she will be back alongside Kate Stewart for the giggle, so yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing more of her in the future to come. It was also great as well to see Donna's family back. It was nice that Donna's husband got a little bit more to do in this story compared to the end of time. That was good. I loved seeing Donna's iconic mum, Sylvia, back. That was good. And we didn't get to see Wilf, but we did get a Wilf mention in this story. So it's looking likely that Wilf will be in either next week's episode or the week after that. There was this heartbreaking moment where the Doctor accidentally thought that Wilf had passed on. And yeah, that was heartbreaking because you could really tell in the Doctor's heart just how much care he has for Wilf. So that was a really nice moment, played out well by David Tennant. But yeah, hopefully we see Wilf in either next week's episode or the week after that. Hopefully. And then at the end, we had the big reveal itself of the brand new TARDIS. And I have to say, I am a huge fan of this TARDIS. It is definitely more futuristic looking rather than looking like a home. So I do get some of those complaints. But for me personally, this style for the TARDIS really works well. The word I would especially use would be the word cool. This looks like a very cool TARDIS. It's very futuristic looking, like I said, and I especially love the size of it. It is absolutely huge. I love how the Doctor just runs around the whole set. That was a joyful scene to watch. You could really tell probably how much more David Tennant himself was loving the new TARDIS set rather than the actual Doctor, to be honest. And I loved the moment as well when Donna shouted it was gorgeous. It was just a great TARDIS reveal scene. It's a great looking TARDIS, and you can really tell how much budget has went into this. You could really tell now, with probably Disney involved in this new streaming deal, it's giving the BBC more money to work with, and it's being spelt well on this brand new massive, the biggest TARDIS set we've had yet, and also the gorgeous new looking title sequence as well. That was absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful to look at. Definitely the most advanced title sequence we've had to date at this point. I love that the TARDIS can also change colours too, so hopefully throughout Series 14, because it has been confirmed this TARDIS set will be staying on board for Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor, which is great to hear because yeah, this is a gorgeous new TARDIS set. There's no point keeping it for just 3 specials and then getting rid of it again. So it will be staying for Ncuti, and hopefully that will allow the TARDIS to change colours throughout the new season. That will be pretty cool to look at. But yeah, the only other thing to briefly talk about is near the end of this episode, there is a scene where the Doctor and Donna are talking, and Donna is like, this is your second chance now, maybe you can do things differently, and she kind of sort of hints towards the Doctor maybe starting to settle down or something like that. That has definitely got me wondering if that could be in relation to the split regeneration rumour. Potential spoiler here, but that rumour is that in the finale, The Giggle, when the 14th Doctor regenerates, it's going to be a split regeneration, so you'll have 2 Doctors, the 14th Doctor will remain, and then the 15th Doctor, Ncuti Gatwa, will carry on as normal. And yeah, I'm not sure if that scene was maybe hinting that is indeed going to be true, where maybe in the finale, the 14th Doctor decides it's time to settle down with Donna, maybe like start, not like settle down, but maybe retire on Earth or something like that, and then the 15th Doctor carries on saving the universe. I'm not the biggest fan of the idea at this moment of time, but I'm sure when it's executed, it could work a lot better. At the moment, it's only an idea on paper, and I'm sure on screen, it would have a big reasoning behind it. Maybe it would work because maybe the 15th Doctor will have to kind of sacrifice his life with Donna. Like maybe the 15th Doctor is like, I will give up kind of moving with Donna and staying with her forever to let the 14th Doctor be happy and let at least one version of the Doctor settle down. Maybe they'll go something like that and it'll work. We'll have to wait and see. As I say, as always, we'll just have to wait and see what happens. But as a whole, I really enjoyed the Starbeast. I think it was a great introduction to the Doctor and Donna back once again, and that's what it should have been. It didn't have to be anything too timey-wimey or anything too serious. It had to be the perfect introduction for David Tennant and Catherine Tate back into the Doctor universe. And for me personally, it was absolutely that. It was absolutely perfect in terms of that, and I would probably give it a 9 out of 10 because although it's not the best episode ever, it did introduce the Doctor and Donna perfectly, and that's what it had to be. This story had to do that successfully in terms of the character development, and that's exactly what it did. And I'm just super happy, and I am so excited for next week. We hardly know anything about Wild Blue Yonder. All we know is that it's probably going to take place on a spaceship somewhere, and that's it. And that's very exciting because, yeah, Russell has made it clear this episode is going to be a mystery until it goes out. And yeah, I can't wait to see what surprises this episode has in store. We know there's going to be secret cast members involved, so yeah, I cannot wait for that. But as always, thank you all so much for watching. Please in the comments below, give me your own thoughts. What did you think of the Starbase? Was this a successful launch for the Russell T Davies second era? Let me know. If you enjoyed, subscribe, because I'll probably have some theory videos before my next review next weekend, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, thanks all for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed, it helps me out, and I will see you all next time. Bye for now.